be a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to plant and grow your own chicory indoors. Chicory is a very typical and very versatile Belgian vegetable. You can use it any way you can think of. There are plenty of ways to eat it raw. You can saute it, cook it, oven bake it, make it into soup. You can pretty much use it for anything. My dad introduced me to this, and we've both been growing, well, he and my mom and myself have been growing chicory in our homes like this for years, and it's such a cool thing. You have so many crops from just a few roots, and my bunnies love it, I love it, and it's so much fun to see them grow, and it's also so much fun to see them regrow because when you cut the crops off, they just keep growing back. Before we get started planting our chicory roots, I'm going to let you know a little bit more about how the chicory roots actually come to exist. First, the farmers plant chicory seeds, and depending on how close they put their seeds next to each other, they either have to replant the plants after they've grown a little bit, or if they already planted the seeds far apart, they don't have to do anything and they just let them grow. The seeds start growing a root in the soil and they get green leaves that kind of look like dandelion leaves. But when they're fully grown, which is, they usually plant them around April, and then around September until December they harvest them and they let them lie on the field and they let them dry. Well, first they put they make sure all the soil is from the roots, and then they spread them out on the fields, let them dry and lay there for at least 2 weeks. Once the roots and their leaves have rested a couple of weeks, the farmer then cuts off most of the leaves about 3 centimeters above the root, and sometimes he also cuts a part of the bottom of the root. And those are the roots that you can grow chicory from, which is what we're going to do right now. We're going to grow chicory above the ground, and we're going to grow it indoors. So it's very easy to do. Just in your basement. Basement is great. A dry and dark area. You can also just cover it so that it's dark if you don't have a basement. It's really not difficult at all. It's not that expensive, and it's a lot of fun to do. It's also really fun to do with kids so that they can see how the vegetable grows, and they will think it's magical that the plant grows back after you cut it. So where can you get those roots? Well, the cheapest way is to get them off a farmer, directly from a farmer who grows his own chicory. But of course, if you don't know any farmer, that can be a little bit difficult. So they also sell them in certain garden centers. They sell them in stores where they have supplies for farmers, and even online you can find them. Just, type in chicory roots and you should be able to find them pretty easily. There are so many more interesting things I can tell you about chicory, about the history, about how it's grown, different methods and everything, but I'm just gonna stop talking about that because otherwise this video is going to go on for hours. You don't want that. So I would say let's just get started and you can see for yourself how we do it.
You'll need harvested chicory roots, potting soil, a transparent container that's about the height of your roots, 2 PVC pipes with a few holes drilled into them, and a knife. Cut the roots about 0.4 inches or 1 centimeter above the growing point. If a root has side roots, cut those off as well. The roots should not be higher than your container. If they are, cut some of the lower part until they fit. Place the PVC pipes on opposite sides of the container and fill the container with potting soil. Push the roots into the soil and press the surrounding soil a bit so the roots are in firmly. Leave a bit of space in between the roots. Place your container in a dark, dry area. A basement is great. Gently pour water in the PVC pipes. The water will seep through the holes in the pipes and wet the soil. Wait until the PVC pipes are empty before adding more water. Keep adding water until all the soil is wet and the topsoil is also wet to the touch. This is why it's best to use a transparent container, as it makes it easy to see if the water reached every bit of the soil in the container. You want to keep the soil somewhat wet to the touch at all times, so check regularly and add water through the pipes when needed. The chicory will start to grow very soon. After just about 2.5 weeks, you'll have beautiful full crops. You don't necessarily have to wait until they're fully grown to use them either. When you want to use the chicory, cut your crop just above the root. Now you're ready to eat your delicious homegrown chicory. It tastes way better than the chicory you buy in the store. And you don't have to wash it either, as it grows above the soil, so it's nice and clean and ready to use. Don't worry, once you've cut some of your crops, they'll just grow back, as you can see here. You'll be able to harvest more than 5 times from each root. Enjoy!
So now you know how to grow your own chicory at home. I hope you try it out, but if you don't, I still hope it was an informative video and you learned a thing or two. If you enjoyed this video and if you enjoyed chicory, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Bye!